Hi everybody, this is Alchemist2 and I'm back again with another movie review. Recently, Dad and I went to the cinema to see Moonrise Kingdom, which was only a limited release when it first came out. And honestly, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a very unique film. I enjoyed the characters. I thought it was sort of a ragtag motley crew of different kinds of people who were involved. Bill Murray, one of my favorite comedians, and Bruce Willis. They were playing well. Bill Murray's role was something that he's done before. I'm sure he's played paternal roles such as that. He was Sue's father. Uh, Bruce Willis, his role is Sergeant Sharp. I love Sergeant Sharp. I just thought that he was a lovable character, and maybe not too terribly bright, but still he had some goodness in him, and you felt a sense of sorrow for him because he was doing what he felt was right, and the whole theme of the film itself was the fact that you have Sam uh, Shakusky and Susan Bishop. They, well, he goes to the church with Sam goes to the church with his troop of khaki scouts, his fellow khaki scouts. Khaki scouts. I think that's funny. But anyway, he goes with them to see play about the flood, and this all takes place in the 60s, actually the 50s or the 60s. 50s, excuse me. It takes place in the 50s, and he falls in love with Sue there, and Sue is the only raven, which I thought was very intriguing, because ravens are not only are they very intelligent birds, but they are kind of outcast. And you note this from the very beginning. She's an outcast. He's an outcast. They don't have very many friends. He was adopted by another family. His parents died somehow. I don't think they don't really mention how his parents died, but it's very tragic, and it's just you see the kind of trouble that the two get into, and they're actually more mature than their fellow peers, and even their parents. They are actually playing adult roles within the film itself, and I really love the cinematography in this movie. The cinematography in this movie was just unbelievable. Sue's world was like a little dollhouse, and her mother spoke to her through a megaphone, and I just thought that was kind of a metaphor for the kind of relationship that she had with her parents. She was rebelling against them, and she just didn't see eye to eye with them. She felt like she was adopted herself, and she actually had admiration for children who were adopted, because she, like she said in the film, she just felt like their stories were more interesting. The Like I said before, the cinematography is really beautiful in this film, and the costumes are great. The music is really unusual, but I really like it because you get a lot of Benjamin Britten and classical music that you wouldn't hear normally in films. It had more of a nostalgic feel to it, I thought, and it harkened to a simpler time, even though the subject matter in and of itself was very complicated, and there's a lot of symbolicism, and it was very intriguing, and I really liked it, and there was quite a bit of humor in it. The humor is really out there. I mean, it's very out in left field kind of humor, and I really enjoyed that. I like that quite a bit, and there was one part that kind of disturbed me, but I'm not going to say what it was. If you've seen the film, there's a scene in it that kind of made me cringe a little bit. But other than that, I really didn't find anything objectionable about the movie. The romance I thought was really wonderful. Just these two these two characters that really don't have a friend in the world, they find each other, and isn't that what love is all about? That's the basis of love itself. I mean, it just you never know when it's going to happen. It just happens, and they seem to be of sound mind and everything when they when I'm going to just give a spoiler, so if you don't want to hear the spoiler, plug your ears. So what they do is they start writing each other letters. They run away from their prospective places. She runs away from home. He runs away from camp, and they meet in the field that has no name. And from there, they set out toward the end of this island, Summer's End, and it's Chickasaw territory, and it's got this wild feel about it, and you can see their freedom, and there's innocence as well as maturity and a sense of sexuality between the two, though there's chemistry between them, and the 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 characters are great. I love Sam and Susie. I just think that they're terrific characters, and I think it's a 3.5, 3.5 star film, 2 thumbs up. I absolutely adored it, and I know why it's called Moonrise Kingdom, but I'm not going to say as to what purpose that title is. And the ending is more of Lady or the, well, it's not really a Lady or the Tiger. It's up in the air, and I think that was my only other nag about it, but it was a happy ending. I'll just say that. It's not really a spoiler, but the ending is happy, and I'm glad I got a chance to see it because I enjoyed everything about it: the music, the characters, the zany humor, that kind of really the humor you don't really expect. It's uh, unusual. It's very unusual. It's a unique film, and it's I think it's just about finding oneself and coming of age and all that. And I probably would have to see it again for the symbolism, but it's really great, and it's just an amazing film, and I highly recommend it if you're into films that are a little bit different. And the cinematography is really beautiful. I mean, the everything is so picturesque, and it's almost like it's surreal. And what's interesting is when I told my dad that Penzance Island and the other island, they don't exist in reality. They were made up. So he said, "No, really?" I said, "Yeah, they're fake. They don't exist." And I think that it was filmed in Maine, if I'm not mistaken. But it's certainly worth your while if you go and see this, because it's a little bit out of the box in the way that it's done, and it just reminds me of an old film from that particular era, including just the way people lived and that the simpler time, and um, it really is different and intriguing, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. So I highly recommend Moonrise Kingdom.